I would like to talk about the power of behavior in the art of acting. As an actor, do you often wonder what other aspects of human truth resonates on camera besides learning the lines and living deeply in your emotional life? In this video, I will explore how important and essential the layer of human behavior is for the actor, and how to incorporate it in your rehearsal process and in your performance. In the vast, layered world of the actor's craft, actors are often praised for their ability to ignite tears or evoke laughter in their performances. But in the art form of acting, especially in the world of television and film, there is an extremely important layer that lies just below the surface and is easily overlooked: behavior. The layer of human behavior brings flesh and bones to our characters. It brings heartbeat to our characters. Behavior is, quite simply, the most human aspect of our craft. So the first step is to understand behavior. What is behavior in terms of the craft of acting? Behavior goes beyond what a character says. Behavior is connected to how the character says something. For example, it's the unconscious fidgeting that your character might do before they reveal a deep secret. Or it might be a slump in the character's posture while they struggle in between expressing different thoughts. Or the avoidance of eye contact that speaks louder than any lines in the script. Behavioral choices reflect the inner psychology of the character. It might reveal something about their history, their fears, their desires. And it is in these subtle, revealing moments of behavior where the audience can really connect to the deeper truth of the character or the vulnerability of the character. Great actors understand this. They know that human beings rarely really truly say exactly what they feel, and that real truth and real drama is revealed not in what the character says necessarily, but it's revealed in the things that they do. It's the contradiction between what is said and what is done that makes drama compelling. Sometimes nervous laughter in the middle of a breakup scene can be more heartbreaking than tears. The laughter is a surprise, and laughter is behavior. And when an actor can open up to the surprising nuances of behavior, they are learning how to tell the story in much more interesting and unique ways. One of the first points I'd like to make is behavior versus performance. In traditional acting training, there's a big emphasis placed on your performance. Hitting marks, projecting your voice, being precise in your timing. In film and television, continuity is extremely important. All of these things are very crucial. But what separates good actors from great actors is the ability to behave truthfully under imaginary circumstances. And this is one of legendary acting teacher Sanford Meisner's most quoted phrase. Acting is behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances. If you really think about that statement, it shifts the focus from acting something into truly being something. When an actor focuses on the truth of the given circumstances and how that affects their behavior, in other words, knowing what is at stake for your character, knowing what the character needs and what they want, that's the starting point where the actor can explore how they will respond and how they will react physically to the obstacles being presented moment to moment. The performance then stops being a performance and actually becomes an experience. This is one of the most major artistic goals in every actor's work. The body doesn't lie. Audiences may not be able to necessarily articulate what they're seeing all the time, but, and I'm sure you can relate to this even as an audience, you know when something feels false. That's because every human being understands what it means to behave in a truthful way. And most human beings are very adept at reading behavior. From when we're infants, we can detect and decode different things that are happening in someone's inner life, and we can make decisions about what we think the person's intentions are. Many times we can spot insincerity from miles away. That is why behavior is so powerful in the craft of acting. It taps into a primal part of the audience's brain. A character who says, "I'm fine," with a trembling voice and their arms folded across their chest, is far more compelling than a character saying, "I'm devastated," with perfect tone of voice and perfect diction. It is the behavior that moves us, not just the words. So how, as an actor, do you make strong behavioral choices? Great behavioral acting is not just an accident. It's part of the craft. It's worked on, it's chosen, it's rehearsed, and then it's thrown away. The actor then has to pray that everything that was worked on in rehearsal and with conscious intention will actually show up organically and maybe even a little bit differently than it was rehearsed, but it's filled, hopefully, with the depth of the character, and it's connected to truth and spontaneity in the moment. This is a paradox, and this is part of the mystery of the craft of acting. Actors study their script, they think about objectives, they think about actions, they think about the dramatic progression and the dramatic logic of the scene, the arc of the scene, what's the beginning, what's the middle, and what's the end. How does my character start off in one place at the beginning of the scene, and then how do they change, and where do they end up at the end of the scene? What are the relationships? What are the obstacles? It is only the result of combining and bringing all of these elements together that the actor can really discover the most that they can about where they might open up their behavior. It is from the combination of all of these different ingredients of the actor's craft that behaviors can organically and naturally emerge. Does a character touch their hair when they lie or touch their nose? Do they overcompensate when they apologize because they come from a home where love was not unconditional? Do they avoid being touched, or do they constantly seek it out? These aren't random things, but instead they're motivated by the human psychology and the history of the character. And every actor must do their homework and make these decisions for themselves. And yet, at the same time, on stage and on screen, these choices must feel spontaneous, as if they're arising in the moment. And that's the magic of the art. So how does an actor build behavior and inner life in the rehearsal process? Rehearsal is where the actor can experiment and explore along with their fellow actors and the director, answering questions such as, what does my character do when they're nervous? Or how do I walk into the room when I'm unwelcome? In other words, it's not enough to know the lines. Going back to that Sanford Meisner quote, your rehearsal process is where you can learn about what is going on in the circumstances and live truthfully inside of that framework. But exploring the possibilities around the character's behavior in the rehearsal process is another layer of inspiration in your performances. Think about it this way. Behavior is what we remember. Sometimes we might remember the lines that a character says or a speech that they deliver. But in my experience, thinking about actors that I admire, moments that really stuck with me are the behaviors. Heath Ledger licking his lips as the Joker in The Dark Knight. Meryl Streep's reserved physicality and stifled sighs in the movie Kramer vs. Kramer. These incredible performances show us that great acting is so much more than how the character says something. It's about how an actor can become the character and live inside of the character convincingly. So I believe behavior is truly the art of acting. It brings us back to what is the most important thing when we go to a film or we go to the theater, that we are more deeply affected by the truth rather than spectacle. The actor's ability to express the character's hidden inner life through subtle, truthful human behavior is what makes a performance unforgettable. So I say to every actor, no matter what level you're at, before you focus on how to say your line, ask yourself, how does my character feel about this? What are they hiding? What do they want? What do they need? What is it that they're doing, even in stillness? Because at the end of the day, behavior is the bridge between the character and the audience. And on that bridge, truth may walk quietly, but always powerfully. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website, as well as our free weekly newsletter. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.